Hello, everyone. This is the Parks Academy, where we discuss and celebrate all things theme parks related. We focus mainly on Disney parks and resorts in both Anaheim and Orlando. My name is Paige,
My name is Steven.
and today we'll be doing a This or That episode.
We haven't done this in a little while. We thought we wanted to bring this back. So I'm excited. I'm coming up with some questions to ask Paige. I've actually been stewing over them myself because I think they're hard. They're different than what we've normally done, but I think they're going to be good.
And I have no idea what to expect, so.
Yeah. A little front matter just before we get into anything or everything, I guess. So we, as you guys know, last week we talked about the Festival of the Arts, and we were fortunate enough to get in touch with a handful of artists who are there, and also some people who are just, incredible and very, very talented Disney artists. So we have a couple of them booked already for our next handful of shows. We're going to be doing like an interview style process where, we're going to learn a little bit about, how they got into art, how they really specifically got into like Disney art and what it takes to do that. We're really excited. I think it's going to be a fun little mini series we're going to do. We're hoping to get about 3 different artists on our show that we can talk to and just really get an idea of what they're doing and how it's kind of impacted their lives and some of the benefits of how that's been for them. So
I'm really excited about that. One, because I think it's awesome to be able to put a spotlight on people who are doing really, really awesome art during the Festival of the Arts, and some of them are not affiliated with Festival of the Arts, but we wanted to be able to include some of those voices as well so that you
Right.
guys can see and hear from people who are making art and awesome Disney things. So I'm really excited to talk with them.
Yeah, right now we're just kind of in the heat of like scheduling, which can be cumbersome, but I think we're getting some dates finalized. So, uh, what's going on in your life this week that's exciting for you?
Mine, actually, I wanted to share what we did on Friday night because I think it is so awesome. Steven and I had the chance to go to a black tie gala, which was our first time going to a black tie event together. It was so fun. We got to dress up to the nines, went and got my hair done and my nails done. Steven went and got a fresh haircut and got his beard trimmed.
Yeah.
Like the morning of. It was so fun.
It was really nice.
We had somebody pick us up in like a fancy black car and take us to the event. It was so awesome. So I really, really enjoyed that.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was great. I'm not going to say the thing that I'm excited about today specifically. I'm not going to talk about.
It's your
because,
football boys.
yeah,
That's why.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't for everyone else. So
It's because you're always excited about your football boys.
well, and by the time, I mean, there's a 50-50 chance that when this gets released tomorrow morning, I could just be really upset. So I don't want to talk about that necessarily. But yeah, the 49ers are playing the Dallas Cowboys today. And I think it should be really good, I hope. I I'm excited that okay, so I'm actually excited that right now Splash Mountain is finally closing. I'm not excited that it closed. I'm just excited that after years and years of anticipation, we're finally underway for transformation of Splash Mountain into the new Princess and the Frog attraction.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yes, and I think that's going to be great. It's going to be a well-deserved change. I think it's going to be very welcomed. And I was loving that like right before park closed, it was still almost a 200-minute wait to get on the ride, and rope drop it was about a 90-minute wait immediately. Do you think you would have waited in line for that just for one last goodbye?
I mean, I would have with you because I
Yeah.
know that was like your favorite ride.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I ever rode it until I rode it with you. I'm not a big fan of drops.
Yeah, I think you've ridden both. You've ridden Disneyland and Disney World together.
I think I've only done Disneyland once,
hmm
and Disney World I think I've ridden twice at this point. but-
Disneyland's is so much better in my opinion, but either way, it's a great experience.
Well, now we'll be excited for the new attraction.
Yeah, I can't wait. Okay, are you ready to do some would you rather this or that's?
I'm ready.
Would you rather this or that? Okay, so you got to pick one, right? That's the rules. I'm going to ask you a couple of 2 different options of like would you rather do this or that, which is why we named it that. And then you just answer, and then I'll answer as well from my vantage point, okay?
You got it.
All right. The first one is it okay if I just say would you rather? Do you mind if I just say that?
You do
Is that
whatever
cool?
you
All right.
want to do.
Would you rather get a VIP experience in the parks or at the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California?
Oh. I think I would rather get the VIP experience in the parks. And I say that because I'm envisioning like backstage access in Animal Kingdom or something like that.
Okay.
Or getting to go down underneath of Magic Kingdom or something. I am less inclined to do behind the scenes stuff of the actual studios because that has never been as exciting to me. I know that that is probably where your brain goes because when
Yeah.
you were younger, you were like, I want to work for Pixar, and this is
Yeah.
also interesting.
Yeah, I did.
But I feel like the VIP experience to me in the parks would be way more exciting for me
Would you
personally.
rather do like Disneyland or Disney World for the backstage thing?
I think Disney World. I
Yeah.
think there would be more to do and more to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, definitely backstage
Okay. Yeah.
VIP in Walt Disney World.
Okay. I think that would be fun. I think that the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank would be more interesting and exciting. You know, you get to see all of the Oscars. I think that they have like a replica of Walt's office there. There's just, you know, so much to look at. Sound stages, the audio, like the recording studios, the sound effects stations where, you know, the ink and paint that's still there, all that kind of stuff. To me, that would be a much more interesting and thrilling opportunity. And I also think it's less of a common opportunity. Like any old person can buy a VIP experience.
Right.
Whereas I think you have to be invited to some degree. So in 2000 and I'm frantically Googling something while I look this up here. Okay, so in 2007, there we go, I made it. 2007, I did get it was pretty close to a VIP tour of Pixar Animation Studios in Emerville. It was very, very cool. I went with some people who I knew and some friends, and we got to just get an entire, you know, glimpse into what the experience was like, from like going into the rendering farm to like John Lasseter's office, which was really interesting at the time, and all that kind of stuff. So I would lean toward the studio.
I think another reason I would say VIP in the parks is we've had such glimpses of some of those things through either Disney Plus shows or
Yeah.
visiting the Walt Disney Family Museum, doing that Pixar experience at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So we've been able to see so much content about that. Even like my Women in Disney Animation book.
Yeah, right.
It's not the same as actually getting to see the rooms and the processes in
I was
person.
literally going to say it's totally different than seeing it firsthand.
Right, but I've never seen a lot of the backstage stuff in the parks.
Yeah,
because
fair.
a lot of that is not all out there for the public to see.
Okay.
So that's why I think just to add a little extra as to backing up my answer.
Great. Okay, here's the next one. These are all over the place, by the way, so there's not a theme at all.
Yep, no problem.
Would you rather work at a churro stand or at the gate entrance?
What a random question.
They're all over the map.
Okay, so if I worked at a churro stand, I would probably eat a lot of churros.
I think that they have like product stock management, so I don't know if you could just do that.
Well, like I would buy a lot of
Okay.
churros. I wouldn't
Yeah.
just like steal churros. I would make some and then I would use my monies to buy more churros.
Okay.
I've never enjoyed working in the food industry. I'm gonna be one of those greeters up at the front gate.
Yeah, I'm talking the people that have to explain to you that you have to put your magic band up against
know.
it and also scan your finger.
I know what you mean.
I'm with you on that. I think it's exciting to see people's expressions and faces going into the park.
Well, and imagine seeing all of the kids who are there for the very first time and they get
just really excited.
They get to like stand up tall and put their magic band up against it and it lights up with the Mickey ears and then you just see all of the joy.
Yep.
Oh,
That's what I would do.
how wonderful.
Working a churro stand, I think, wouldn't be as fun for me.
Depends where the churro stand is located.
I think if I worked at it in Fantasyland, it would be fun.
Yeah, do I get like a view of all the shows or am I working in Animal Kingdom? Because
Okay,
then
so you could work at
maybe-
the churro stand that is sort of, I don't know if this is correct or not, in Disneyland per se. No, you know what? You could maybe work at the one in New Orleans Square in Disneyland. It's right by Pirates and Tom Sawyer's Island. That'd be kind of cool.
Or in Animal Kingdom, there are several churro stands, and I would probably be happy with any of them.
I think it'd be way too hot to work at a churro stand in Animal Kingdom.
What if I'm working at the Nomad Lounge? They have churros.
And that wasn't really the question. That's not a stand, is it?
It's not.
Okay.
Well, my answer was at the front gate anyway,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Cool. Would you rather play a costumed character or a face character?
Okay. When I was in 12th grade, I took a musical theater dance class. And my teacher was one of the people who used to audition folks for the princesses in Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And she told me that I had the exact eye structure and color to play a princess because they look for specific features that people have to play certain characters. So
Right.
she said that my eye structure and color was good for, like, I think it was Cinderella and there was one other princess I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're looking for different categories of people with different features to fill the roles of various face characters.
Yeah.
And I, from that moment, said, it is my dream to become a Disney princess.
Why didn't you pursue that?
Because I was going to do the Disney college program my second year of college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met this dude at the library.
Okay, so it was my fault. I would have done it. We could have done it. I mean, if you wanted to go do it, we could have. But,
I met you.
yeah, it's not too late. I'm sorry.
And my
I'm
life
sorry
changed.
I spoiled your dreams. Before I answer my side of things, similarly, I had a conversation with. I met this Disney recruiter in college, and I met with him like in an office afterward to kind of talk to him about some things. And I said, listen, I'm from the Bay Area. I really want to work for Pixar. It's still not a dream that I've completely put by the wayside. I'm not an animator, but there's, possibilities for like other jobs in marketing and stuff. And he looked at me like dead in the eyes and he's like, do you like working 80 hours a week? And I was like, no. And he goes, then that's not for you. And I was like, thank you for your,
Your brutal
for not giving me the
honesty.
runaround. Yeah. And making it seem like it's great. And then all of a sudden I'm stuck. So yeah, fantastic. I would rather be a costume character. Because I'm not really good at like like when I'm having a bad day or something, I'm not very good at hiding my facial expressions. And I just don't think that I would have the mental stamina to be in character that long. Whereas if you're like, for instance, I don't know who I could be because I'm 5'9", so I'm too tall to be Mickey Mouse and I'm too short to be Goofy.
There are a lot of other costume characters nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I could be like Scrooge McDuck. I think
You
Sully
are Scrooge McDuck.
I think
That would be
Sully has
perfect.
like platform shoes or something. But anyway, I just like the idea of being able to have a completely straight face and greet people. You know what? I could probably be Pluto, I bet you. He's not like insanely tall. Anyway, I think that it'd be nice to be a costumed character and to just be able to like have whatever facial expression you want. Not really worry about having to like come up with conversation. You can just point at kids and then, turn your head and like do things with your hands to like, show off, to communicate in some kind of way. And I think that would be good. The only thing I wouldn't like about being especially a costume character is all the adults that want to come hug me. I don't think I would like that at all.
You just shut it down.
Yeah, you're just like, no, thank you. But I don't think
Captain Marvel when we went to Disneyland.
Yeah, oh my gosh, she was on it.
And I walked up to her and she put her arm around me and we put our other arm on our hips like we were standing like Captain Marvel. And then a guy came up and he tried to put his arm around her and she put her hand out like stop.
Yeah.
And then she said back to back.
Like
and she
stranger
crossed
danger.
her arms.
Yeah.
And they went back to back with their arms crossed.
To
so
be
she
fair,
had totally put down boundaries like, do not touch me.
To be fair, he looked like the kind of guy that was trying to hug a princess or a superhero.
Yeah,
woman.
awkward.
And then she's like, do you want a picture with me? And I'm like, I'm good. I don't really need that. But yeah, so that's what who do you think who do you think I'd even play?
I'm trying to think, what about like, one of the country bears?
Yeah, I could
You
do
could totally
that.
be a country bear
I could do
because
that,
you know
sure.
that those people are not actually as tall as those costumes.
Right.
It's
Either
like,
they're like on stilts or there's like some
they're like
kind of
average sized people and then the head is probably extended well above them.
Right. That's pretty good, actually. I think that's
You could totally be a country bear.
Pretty good. Big Al, I guess, huh?
Could be liver lips.
Yeah, liver lips, huh? That'd be rough. Okay. I'm into it. Maybe we'll move and you can be a Cinderella
princess?
and I can be a liver lips.
I would have to wear a wig because I am not blonde
I think you have to wear a wig pretty much anyway.
for most every single character.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe Ariel and Cinderella.
Maybe
I don't
could
know
see it
which
was Ariel,
I don't know
yeah.
which princesses have blue eyes.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I have like
Uh,
bluish green eyes.
When we were at the Halloween party in October, there was a girl that was dressed up as Cinderella in Frontierland as we were leaving a restaurant. And she she could tell like her whole thing was cosplaying and she wanted to basically be a Disney princess.
Right. She was
And
a
there was a
teenager.
line of like I would say she was probably in her mid-20s actually.
No way.
I think she was probably like one of those girls that was like 22, 23 but looked younger.
No way.
Doesn't matter.
She was like 16, 17.
Age is, numbers are
Steven
not
is
real.
so bad at estimating ages.
There was a line of like 5 kids waiting in line to meet her and I was like, guys, this isn't, whatever.
That's
Doesn't
not
matter.
the real thing.
Which one do you think is better? Epcot, Germany or Canada?
Ooh. I like Canada because I love the Canada Far and Wide attraction. What would you call that? Not an auditorium.
It's like a 360 experience.
Yes.
It's like a 360 visual.
Yes, and
experience.
that was
Is Martin Short still doing it, or was he retired?
well, the last 2 times we went, it was Food and Wine.
Right, so
it
was
was
the
not even
Appleseed
there.
Orchard, right?
Right. But I love the Appleseed Orchard. I
Mhm.
just really like how you kind of walk down that ramp and around and go down
Right.
into Canada.
And kind of like you can go into like La Cellière, and then there's
Right, and there's the beautiful waterfall
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
I
And then
just
when you
think
go
it's so pretty.
on the other side of Canada Far and Wide and the Appleseed thing during Food and Wine, like you go up like stairs in the waterfall. Yeah, I like that too.
I just think it's so beautiful.
I'm with you on that as well. No disrespect to our German listeners, but I've never been like a big fan of like German culture. Just hasn't really spoken to me. It's not really in my heritage. Never something like whatever. And Canada are like our upstairs neighbors, so it just
Our neighbors to the north.
our upstairs neighbors. So I like that one a little bit better, I think.
I do have German heritage for sure on
Right.
my mom's side. However, I think it's less to me about the culture of those pavilions, and it's more about the feeling I get when I'm in those pavilions.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
agree.
German pavilion is very cool, and I like the food
Yeah.
and the drinks, but
Mhm.
the Canada pavilion is so beautiful.
Yeah, I just think like in Germany, like the caramels, the like Heffenweiser beers and the pretzels just don't really speak to me as much as
Maple syrup.
maple syrup
and steak.
and steak. And what are the fries called? What are
Sorry, Canadian friends.
what are the fries called?
Oh my goodness gracious. Poutine.
Poutine, yeah. I almost
It
said
just popped into my
Claudes,
head.
but I'm like, that's not right.
I think you just made that up.
Yeah, poutine. Yeah, so those things I'm much more interested in. I was gonna ask you. I was thinking about putting Mexico in there, and I was like, no.
No,
I know what
because
you're
that
gonna
would
pick.
win against all other pavilions.
I think this one's a doozy. Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather get a free Disney cruise for like the duration of a cruise, or a free week? Okay. Would you
Words.
rather get a free Disney cruise or a free week at the resort of your choice, but you cannot go to the parks?
Is the cruise the Alaskan cruise?
Doesn't matter.
Is it the one where you go to the private island?
I
Am
don't
I
know.
running a
cruise.
5K?
It's a Disney cruise. I don't know. You get on the thing and
You made up the question. I'm asking for clarification.
It doesn't matter. The Wish, the latest one. You get to go on Disney's Castaway Cay. And when I'm not sure about something, I always kind of go up a little bit higher in my tone and then ask it in a question form. Yeah, so you're going on the Wish. It's free. You have to like pay for like souvenirs and stuff.
You have to be like
Or
trapped on a
You can get like,
petri dish.
or you can get like the best room at the Polynesian, view of the castle, the whole thing, but you just don't get park tickets for a week.
I'd rather be trapped at the Animal Kingdom Lodge
For
for a week
resort of your
and not
choice.
be allowed to go to the parks than be stuck on a
Mhm.
boat.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I think I'm with you because, once again, like a Disney cruise is fairly attainable, if you want to do it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Clarifying question. Can I resort hop
Oh,
for
yeah.
food?
You can go anywhere. You're not like stuck at the resort.
That
You
is
just
why I'm picking.
stay at
Yes,
the resort for
that's
free
why I'm
for an
picking
entire
that.
week.
Because if I'm on the cruise ship, then I'm
Mhm.
stuck with cruise ship food, which I'm assuming on a Disney cruise
Oh.
ship is yes.
Yeah, the $5,000 hyperspace lounge
Yeah, no thanks on that one, but
flight from Star Wars
I
stuff.
would rather be able to say, I'm staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge for a week.
Yeah.
I get to look out my window and the giraffes are just hanging out outside my patio.
Giraffing, yeah.
And I'm going to go to Trader Sam's and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to
Mhm.
go to Ohana and then I'm
Yeah.
going to come back and then I'm going to go to
Could you imagine, like,
wherever.
how much ground you can cover in a week if you're
I
not doing anything
know.
at the parks?
If I'm just resort hopping,
Mhm.
that'd be
That'd
awesome.
be alright, yeah.
That's my pick.
Let me switch it a little, though, and just say you could stay in, like, the presidential suite at the cruise, like, the good one. Does
The
that
one
change
that has
anything,
the
or
spiral staircase or
Yeah,
whatever,
does that
2
change
levels.
anything or not so much?
No, I'm
Yeah.
not bougie.
Yeah, well,
We did that episode several months ago about if money were no object, what would we
Yeah,
do
right.
Disney-wise? And that kind of stuff, the super ritzy,
It's not for you.
just does not really appeal to me. Like the black tie gala we went to on Friday was nice
Mhm.
because we got to feel like we were fancy,
Yeah.
but we knew a lot of the people
But in
there.
reality, we're just imposters.
Well, it was for a nonprofit
Yeah,
foundation. It wasn't like this big fancy rich event where it was only just rich people, and it wasn't like
Yeah.
I felt like I was a millionaire being there.
Yeah,
So
right.
I feel like if I stayed in the presidential suite, I would be like, I can't touch anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
break
get it.
something.
I get it.
I don't deserve to be here. Let me stay in the nicest room in the Animal Kingdom Lodge for a week because that's really expensive,
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
it's really, really
That's
nice.
fair. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think that'd be fun. Would you rather work Test Track or Soarin'?
Oh,
You have to work the rides.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the outfits.
Yeah, so, and obviously, you could either be the person that, like, operates the ride. Let's say you could either be the person, like, operates the ride, helps people get into the, to the ride vehicles. I don't think it counts to be the person that stands by the gate and is like, the lightning lane's this way, or, regulars this way. You have to be kind of, like, near the entrance of the ride to some degree.
Okay, the Test Track outfits are kind of cool.
Yeah.
The Soarin' outfits are fine. I love both of those rides. Like, they're up there for me, sort of next to each other for EPCOT rides.
That's why I chose them, actually.
I know,
yeah.
I figured you did.
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like working Soarin' would be kind of annoying because you'd have to make sure that everybody doesn't have like they're not kicking off their flip-flops, that they stuck everything under their seat,
right.
that everyone fits in the seat that they're in. You don't have to like switch anybody to the end seat because they're too small. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I do
I
know
feel
what
like
you mean.
because you're trying to fit so many people into one ride mechanism, whereas Test Track is pretty straightforward. It's like 3 in the front, 3 in the back.
Mhm.
Sit down, make
Yeah.
sure your seatbelts, pull on the yellow tab.
Yeah.
Good to
Plus,
go.
did you think about one of the things I think about with this question is whenever I'm on Soarin', I like to look down and see what's going on, like, below. And the cast member who's, like, operating the vehicle, if you look down, they are the mechanism. You look down and to your left, they look so sad
Well,
all
they're
the
just
time.
standing there watching the same
thing
over and over
and
from
over
a really
again.
weird perspective, so they can't even like enjoy it from
So
down
I don't
there.
think I would want to do that
I
at
know,
all.
that's
I
what I
think Test
mean.
Track would be kind of fun.
If I worked Soarin', I would have to be in that room when you're coming to the bottom of the ramp and
And
you're
you-
sorting people
Yeah.
into the different
Yeah.
lines.
Mhm.
I think that would be better because then you're just
Yeah.
basically making sure there's enough people in each thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Test Track, like the music is cool in Test Track.
Yeah.
I love the room where you're designing your car. I
Skip.
know Steven always bypasses that part. I love that part. So I don't know. I think it'd have to be Test Track for all of those reasons.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on Test Track too, just because I don't think Soarin'. I think Soarin' would feel too claustrophobic in every aspect to me, and it's not my favorite ride. I think it's overrated. The interesting thing to me about like these, like, would you rather work or do things, is that when you think about working in Disney World or Disneyland, it's like, to me anyway, there's it always sounds like the coolest thing ever, and it does seem really cool. But then you have to remember, there's people that like work the cash registers at random stands, and they are, janitors and stuff. And that's all great, but like not every job is going to be the most exciting job.
Every
Even if
job in
you're,
Disney is the most exciting. The
I mean,
janitors
but after a
draw
while,
Mickey
no,
faces
with water, I know.
water.
But after a while, it just becomes a job, So maybe I could be wrong.
I don't know. I can't speak for someone who's been a cast member or has been in the Disney College program or anything.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I worked at Disney, I would never get tired of it. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That no matter how like small my job felt some days, that I feel like I would never get tired. Like if I worked at the 8 Spoon Cafe, I feel like I would just never
Right.
get tired of it. Even if I did have to work at a churro cart, I feel like I would still be like, I get to work in the best place ever.
Yeah, and I'm there. Please keep in mind, like no job is small, obviously. They're all important and stuff. I was just more saying that after a while, a job just was a job.
No,
So
I
that's
know
all
what
I'm
you're saying. I don't think you're trying to diminish or demean anyone
Yeah.
who is a cast member that sweeps up trash, because those
No,
jobs are
that's
so
it's an important job. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I've always wanted to work in Animal Kingdom. That has been my dream since I was a little girl.
Mhm.
I could drive the safari vehicle
That'd be
and
cool.
have a fun little spiel that I
Yeah.
talk about the animals. I don't know. I just think there's so many fun things that every job that seems really small in Disney all adds to the magical experience.
Right,
And
right.
so if you have a job like picking up trash or whatever it is, you can still make people's trips really magical by just your interactions with people.
I think we have talked about like our dream jobs before, I think. Have we or no?
I don't remember.
Well, you just
I think
said
it's come up.
you
a
just said
handful of
yours would
times.
be like driving the safari.
Well, two of my dream jobs have come up during this episode. One would be to be a Disney princess,
Okay.
and one would be to drive the safari. So could I do both?
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Like
know.
3 days a week, 3 days a week.
Sure.
I will be Cinderella 3 days a week and then go drive a safari
Perfect.
vehicle 3 days a week.
My dream job in Disney World or Disneyland, we split up into two different things. The first one would either be a bartender at Oga's Cantina or a bartender at Trader Sam's.
Those would be great jobs for you.
Yeah, I think that either one of those would be so much fun. Being a bartender was actually my dream before I went to college. And not that that's bad. I mean, great. If you can, whatever.
Sorry, I
like,
crushed your dream.
no, gosh, no, you didn't.
You made me not be able to be a Disney princess, and I made you not be able to be a bartender.
You didn't make me not be able to be. I just was like, well, now I got a degree, so I got to do something. But I've still like had all these thoughts about like opening up some kind of like a really cool like boutique sort of cocktail bar or something like that. I think that working at Oga's would be so much fun.
That would be really cool.
That would be the best job ever.
They have cool outfits too.
Yeah, and just the whole vibe and the music and basically cosplaying Star Wars all day would just be such a fun job. But you're actually really working and like serving people.
And you'd
which
have
is
to
great.
be in character.
Yeah, which I would
would
love
be
to do that.
interesting.
In that situation, I'd love to do
Right.
that.
You're usually good at that when we play games like that.
Yeah, well, I'm incredible at it. Are you kidding?
Also
Okay.
very humble.
Would you rather get stuck on It's a Small World for 30 minutes? Obviously, the song is playing. Or would you rather be stuck on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride for 20 minutes during the hell scene?
I love It's a Small World,
Mhm.
and I'm the person on the boat that sings it obnoxiously to
Yeah.
annoy everyone else in my boat. So let me stay on there for 30 minutes and keep all of the people in my boat annoyed.
Yeah, the hell scene in Mr. Toad, for those of you who haven't ridden it, because it's no longer in Magic Kingdom, it is hot in that scene. It gets warm. It's not like overbearingly hot, but it just feels like there's a heater on. I think this is gonna sound mean, but I'm just gonna say it. I think I would be okay being stuck on Small World if you weren't on it, because you would sing.
Well, that hurt my feelings.
Because you just literally said you would annoy people on purpose. I feel like Mr. Toad would be all right to be stuck on. But
I'm not trying to be stuck and sweaty.
But the thing with Mr. Toad is, like, because it's one of those dark rides for kids, it would be so easy just to exit the vehicle and just walk off. So it's really hyperbole that they're asking you which one would you rather be stuck on. Because you're not really technically stuck on either of them without an in-show exit of some kind. But
Rude.
Disney props.
My feelings are hurt.
No, they're not. Are they really?
No, they're not actually hurt. I said I was going to annoy people for 30 minutes.
I think this one's kind of an interesting take because it could, I don't know, I think this one's kind of weird, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Would you rather only be able to eat in restaurants for breakfast or for dinner at Disney parks?
Do I have to pack my food the rest of the time,
It doesn't.
or do
You
like
just
QSR?
you just go hungry. I don't know.
Starve.
No,
So
yeah.
you're
So
asking me if I only want to eat
like
at 8
reservation
a.m.
based.
or at 5 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like so take like personal feelings aside of like I know I'll be hungry at this time or whatever. I'm thinking more of like the quality of the food. So like reserving a restaurant for like an all you care to enjoy at, Ohana for breakfast or at like what else serves breakfast? Any other place in Disney, I guess. Oh,
A lot of places.
Tusker House,
Tusker
whatever.
House.
Like there's a lot of places that have great breakfasts. So I guess what I'm asking is, which one would you rather
So
like do
my
a reservation based sit down dining?
my answer is dinner, and I'm sacrificing Ronto wraps and Tonga toast.
You can still have a Ronto wrap because that's QSR.
Well, I know, but it's breakfast.
No, you can still like eat breakfast. I'm talking like maybe this was a poorly written question.
This question gets a big old
This question is brought to you by poor planning. No,
I knew what
I
you
guess
mean.
that was a bad question,
So,
but
well, let's just clarify the question. You're only allowed to eat in Disney parks for breakfast or for dinner, and you have to pack everything else.
yeah, let's do it that way. Okay,
Because
that's
then it
better.
makes you actually have to choose.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm giving up my Ronto wraps and my Tonga toast.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
And I'm going to eat dinner because there are so many different dinner options.
Yeah.
I can get any kind of food I want within Walt Disney World's property, especially if I want to go to EPCOT and eat in any country, if I want to go to a resort and eat any style of food. Dinner has a lot of variety, whereas breakfast, it's like, what kind of eggs do you want? What kind of carbs do you want? What kind of potatoes do you want?
That's true.
Those are pretty much your options. Would you like a side of fruit or a side of hash browns? Like you're limited so much more with going. And now breakfast can be anything from like eating at your moderate or value resort and getting like a Mickey waffle, some scrambled eggs, or it can be like a super fancy sit down experience with characters.
Right.
I just feel like dinner has so much more variety that I would rather eat a bowl of cereal or oatmeal or
like
a snack bar.
Nutrition grain bar that you bring with you. Yeah.
Right. And then pack sandwiches for lunch and then splurge on dinner.
I'm with you on that only because I don't like breakfast. No, I don't eat breakfast. So
Ref.
I haven't like consistently been a breakfast person in over a decade.
You get those egg bites from Starbucks that we can't pronounce.
The Gruyere egg bites. Gruyere, the bacon and Gruyere egg bites, please. And I always kind of like mumble it out so they don't know what I'm talking about.
Like how my mom says skewers. She just says skers.
Skers.
Because she doesn't know if it's skewers
bacon
or skewers.
And Gruyere egg bites. The employees at Starbucks never repeat it back to me though, so I don't think they know how to pronounce it either.
Either that or they don't want you to feel bad.
Oh, make me feel bad. I want to know. Yeah, I'm not a breakfast person at all, so I always get like shamed for not eating breakfast. But I think the most important meal of the day thing is kind of like a conspiracy by General Mills.
Yep, definitely.
No,
it's to start your metabolism. That's a real thing.
I understand that, but I also think that it's a little bit conspiratorial, and it's just so people can make money.
I'm not a dietitian.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, when I eat breakfast, my metabolism seems like it's doing better.
Do commercials still say like a part of a balanced breakfast?
We don't really watch commercial.
I don't think I've seen a cereal commercial in such a long time. You always see like the cereal with like the toast and the veg and the fruits and the like orange juice and all that, and it's like you expect people to eat all of that for breakfast?
There are a lot of people that eat a full breakfast every day.
That's crazy. Who has time?
If I did not have to get up so early for work, I would eat a full breakfast every day.
I always make our daughter a full breakfast in the morning. And then
She
I just
loves
am
it.
like, Dad wants coffee. So my full breakfast is typically black coffee.
A stomach ache and black coffee.
Oh, I don't have a stomach ache. It really just
no food.
gets me going for the day. I'm sorry that question was kind of a failure, but Okay.
On to the next.
Would you rather get for free, I guess, 5 new pairs of ears or 2 new Loungeflies?
5 pairs of ears in addition to what I already have sounds excessive.
Or 2 Loungefly bags.
I have How many Loungeflies do I have?
I don't know,
5?
6? 5? I
6?
think 6 maybe?
I think 6. Halloween, Christmas, winter,
Christmas.
blue,
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
The Harry Potter one's not technically a Loungefly, and I felt guilty when I bought it for you, but
I think I have 5.
it's like a box lunch branded bag, and I felt like such a chump
It's
when it came
okay.
in the
It's
mail.
very nice.
It is very nice. I
And
just
then
felt bad.
ears, I have the UK. I have the Halloween ones. I have the plain old Minnie Mouse. I have the 2020 ones.
I don't know which years. Oh, you bought some on Etsy, right?
Yeah, those were not real ones. They were Animal Kingdom ones.
Yeah.
They're cute.
Uh-huh.
So I have at least 5 of each. 5 ears,
Okay.
5 Loungeflies. I feel like adding 5 additional ears is a lot.
Yeah.
But I do like matching my ears and my Loungeflies with my outfits.
Right.
I go in the park, and I feel like I have enough ears that cover a lot of different color schemes in different parks. Like I have ones for different holidays, but I also have multiple that are not holiday specific.
Yeah.
Whereas Loungeflies, I really only have one Loungefly bag that's not holiday specific.
You have the blue
right?
one with all the kind of 2D characters
Like
on them.
Fantasyland rides on it. Right. So I feel like I should get 2 Loungeflies.
Okay. I've come super close to buying you Loungeflies only because I like them, and I would not probably carry a Loungefly. But yeah, I've seen a couple of them that I've come very dangerously close to buying you just because I wanted you to have them.
How thoughtful.
Yeah, it was one of them was like a Star Wars one, which is crazy. I almost bought you 2 Star Wars ones. I almost bought you like the cartoon R2D2 and C3PO from the Droids 80s show.
Oh, yeah.
And then I almost bought you the one with it was like it had like Leia, Padme, and Ahsoka on it all together. And I came very close to buying you that one.
You know what I think I need?
What?
It's like a solid color Loungefly.
Yeah.
Like that mint green one.
Yeah.
It's
That'd
just
be cool.
like pretty mint green. I know it has sequins and stuff on it, but
I think the
it'd be
sequences are
pretty.
fine. I know you're kind of against
sequences?
them. The sequences is. I know you were kind of against them for a while, but I think they actually work.
I'm not a sequence person. I'm not like glittery and
Yeah.
pink and sparkly. I'm usually pretty neutral
You're
with
not
it.
shiny.
I'm not shiny. Good Moana reference.
Yeah.
I usually am just like blues and greens. If I'm wearing something girly in Disney, it's usually red and white polka dots. So,
Yeah.
The mint would clash with that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know what you
Maybe
would
I
do.
need a red bag, a plain.
Do they do black ones? That would
They
be
have
kinda...
they have a Minnie Mouse looking one that's black and
Yeah.
red.
That's cool.
I could get that one.
It's crazy to me how some people are able to just, and that's fine. Like collectors are going to collect, and that's great. I've seen some people who have like 50 to 60 Loungefly bags.
I know, or
and
more.
like
They
hundreds
just
and
have
hundreds
like
of
a whole
ears.
room full of Loungeflies.
I mean, that's great, but
What do you do with all of them?
I can't personally justify making collections like that because I would only want to like carry stuff to parks.
Well,
So like I
right.
have some Roosevelt shirts that are specifically Star Wars and stuff, and I'm not gonna go crazy on them because I'm only gonna wear these to parks, not typically in other places.
And if we are Disney once a year people, maybe every other year, how am I supposed to wear all of my Loungeflies and ears if I have a
Yeah, because
plethora?
then you have to like pack them and bring multiple for one trip and stuff.
No, it's a lot. Which I usually do, pack ears for
Yeah.
every day and
Right,
magic
right.
bands that match the ears and the Loungeflies. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I coordinate all the pieces.
Back when Disney gave away free magic bands, I just got the gray one and I was like, perfect. This is all I need is just one gray magic band. And then I kind of
Now you have a
slowly started buying a
small
couple of more.
handful.
I have a small collection. I have 5. I have 5.
Yeah, you have 5.
Okay, so here's the last question. I don't think we've done this one before. I think we've done something similar, but I don't think we've done this one before. Would you rather go to Disneyland on opening day in 1955 or Disney World opening day in 1971? And I'm not going to like give you parameters or anything like that.
I understand. Okay, so pros of going in 55. That's the original. Walt's alive. It's the 50s. Everyone's dressed fancy.
Yeah. Cons.
Cons.
It kind of sucked and the cement was wet.
The cement was wet. Not everything was open.
Mhm.
They weren't quite ready.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse, the costumed character, was
Creepy.
looked like a demon. Yeah.
And it was the 50s, so it was the 50s.
It was the 50s, so you probably wouldn't be able to go
And
anywhere.
I was a woman.
Yeah, right. Shout out, Walt.
pros of the 70s opening, this is the second try, so things are better. The castle's bigger.
But you have to see Roy
But Walt's R.I.P.
dead. Yeah, sure.
didn't even make it to the opening.
No. And you have to deal with Roy trying to do something nice, which is fine, but like,
People probably still dressed kind of nice in the 70s.
No, not about dressing. You have to deal with like
No,
Roy Disney, who like
I know what you're saying.
was
I'm
kind of
just
second. He was like the B plot sort of.
I was moving on to the next
Okay.
bullet point in my head. Yeah, no, I'm gonna say Walt Disney World in 71.
So the opening was interesting. I mean, it was very. I mean, if I'm looking at pictures of it online and stuff, like it looked cool. I know Julie Andrews was there. Bob Hope was there, which is kind of cute. Kind of fun.
I just feel like they had it right for this one because they had been. I mean, it was like 15 years of
Right, yeah.
Disneyland that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had been
yeah.
able to tweak things and see, okay, what can we do better for this opening?
Yeah. I think that opening day in Disneyland would have been really special because obviously, yeah, the whole Walt thing, like that's a given. But the other thing is that we could have seen truly like what everything looked like when it was just a parking lot and groves around it before it was all built up, right? So I think that for me anyway, if you the thing that's most impressive to me about seeing opening day pictures of Disneyland is that there's like trees surrounding it and it's there's like no buildings all around it. The lines are insane. And one of the things that really sticks out to me is like how the parking lot is basically right up against the gate. And so it's almost like going to like a Six Flags kind of where it was just all parking lot and just a gate and that was it. So I think for me that would be far more interesting to see. Plus you get to talk to Walt. Probably not, but it'd be fun to try to catch him,
Yeah, I think the odds are fairly slim, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I don't. So anyway, but I think that going to both would be cool. I just think Disneyland would have been more interesting. Plus, it's all in black and white back then, so it's like totally,
Like everything you see is in black and white.
Yeah.
Like you look around and you can't see color.
Yeah, right. It's crazy how like that switched when. It's crazy how like when color photography came out, people also started seeing color. I don't understand.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I actually, when I was a little kid, I did think I asked my mom if everything was in black and white when she was a kid. Which is super offensive because color photography was out and I did see like colored photos of them, or like videos and stuff,
Bless.
but I still wasn't sure. Or I thought like everything was in like a low contrast sepia kind of tone.
Yeah, like where everything just looks a little yellowy.
Yeah, and then you see Mad Men, you're like, oh, I guess it was fine, and it did look like that. Those are all the questions I had. I don't know. There weren't any repeats, right?
No, I don't think so. I think those were all unique questions. Nicely done.
Yeah.
I like these episodes because I have no idea what to expect. I just kind of show up to our podcast table and just answer.
Yeah. They're kind of more fun than planning, even though I have to do the planning for them. I think they're fun. So that's going to do it for us. Remember, again, next week we're going to kick off, fingers crossed, but next week we're hopefully going to have recordings from our audience, our artist guest, excuse me. And we're really looking forward to that. Please, remember to just check us out on social media, rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. And thanks again so much for listening, everyone, and we will catch you next time.